We're the Foxes,
a creative duo bringing an inspired perspective to real estate, construction, and design.
Making design choices for your home can feel overwhelming.
So we're here to help by showing you expertly styled spaces and the thoughtful decisions that go into making them a reality.
This is Behind the Design.
Welcome to Behind the Design. We're here at Foxwell today, and I am going to show you how to style a credenza. If you have a dresser, an entry table, a credenza that needs help, I've got you covered. One of the biggest questions I get asked is how to style a blank, a bookshelf, a credenza, a coffee table. It's honestly quite simple, so I'm going to kind of break it down, show you the elements. Step one. You have to find some books. In my opinion, that's absolutely something that you need. These are super cool. I found these on Craigslist actually, a huge box of these old Reader's Digest. They had horrible, ugly covers on the top. Took the covers off and look at how cool they are. If they weren't this pretty, the other thing we can do is we can just turn them around and show this side, and then you've got still this really pretty look, a little bit of color, a little pop, some texture, and it kind of is a way around that. For a piece like a credenza that's lower, we need to add some height. So I love artwork as an option to add a little height. This piece, I'm just leaning here. It gives me flexibility to change it over time. You can also take it and hang it on the wall. Where you position your artwork is very important. We don't want to go too high. I'm about 5'9", so what I do is I take the 3/4 part of the art piece, and that's about where my eyes are. If you're 5'5", it's pretty much right in the middle of your art is where you want to hang it up. Now we're gonna layer in some interest, some texture, right? So wood is really great for that, mixed metals. I love these beads. I think that they work everywhere, honestly. A mantle, they work on a credenza, a coffee table, and just kind of throw it on, make it look natural. I've got this plate here. This is actually a serving tray. I just thought that it was a really cool color. I love the texture. It's not fragile, so I just leaned it up against, put a vase in front of it. If it was something, say a serving piece that was more meaningful to you, use a plate stand, make sure that it's more secure. In this instance, this is just fine. Now that we have the texture laid down, we need to add something that smells nice. I love adding candles for this. This candle is not only really good smelling, but it's really beautiful. It has this really pretty metal vessel, and I like things like this that are a little bit lower and longer. And then you've got candlesticks for height. I kind of like to play with these, see which height looks good. This looks pretty great. You don't want them to be at the exact same height. So say these were a little more similar in height, then that doesn't look so great, right? So you want to make sure that there's a little bit of contrast. I like putting something on top of these books and then leaving these here on the actual credenza. Just adds a little interest. And then see how I took this color and I brought it in again over here so that it kind of ties together. And you know, most people might not think that pink or purple and terracotta work together. They totally do. Mix it, bring some color. The final pieces are gonna bring in color, texture, and a little bit of life. This could be a plant, dried florals, which are my favorite because they don't die, and maybe some live florals as well. So with this here, I'm gonna put this on this side, kind of adds a little bit more height, a little texture here. I'm gonna put this vase over on this side. I love how all of these metals work together. This copper is so pretty. These flowers are obviously gorgeous, but what's great about this is even without these live florals here, this vase still looks really, really pretty. And that's why I love something like this that you can't see through. It feels more like an art piece than it does like something that's supposed to hold flowers. But very easily, pop them in and you've got that look, the color, the texture, all of it. Pro tip, whether it's live florals or dried florals, sometimes a vase is longer than the stems and we have to add a little something inside of it. I just crumpled up a paper bag. If water was gonna go in here, you could easily add even a plastic bag, something just to lift those stems up and give it a little bit more height. Obviously, a little too low. Add that to lift it up, and voila. So really, when it comes to styling something like a credenza, don't overthink it. Bring in some vintage items, some books, things that you have in your house, or go to Ark Value Village and grab a bunch of really great stuff. Of course, you can always come to Foxwell and we'll help you too. But all of these things, they're all pretty simple, right? It's just finding that height, making sure you have some color and some life happening, and some texture just to, you know, liven things up a little bit. And that was it for this episode of Behind the Design. We'll see you next time.